Hey, what's up, YouTube? What's up, world? So this is the part 2 of exposing a possible rapist. I would never try to falsely accuse someone, and I would never, I would never try to, what it's called. There's a phrase for it when you attack someone's character. It's called label. I would never falsely accuse someone or try to make someone look bad, but and I'm not even making these 2 videos for myself. I'm making them in the hopes that it'll prevent him from being a predator towards someone else. Because if it was just the money problems, like him not giving me the discount he asked for, and stealing my food and my drinks, and being, bothering me about music and things that are perfectly legal for me to do in my paid rented room, then I wouldn't make a video. I would just chalk it up as a landlord that was no good, and I would carry on to the next place of residence for myself. But because of what happened that night, when I drank such a small amount that the normal time when I would drink the amount of alcohol that I drank that night, I would wake up in like 5 or 6 hours, 7 or 8 hours. And my plan was to wake up, drink some more, and go back to sleep. But that's not what happened. What happened was I drank like, it was either a little bit less or a little bit more than half a bottle. And that's not a lot of alcohol for me. And if you're a heavy drinker, you know that when you don't drink, like, you have to really, like, if you're a heavy drinker, like a whole bottle drinker, you know the difference between drinking a little bit and drinking a lot. And for me to drink that much liquor and a little bit of beer and be completely out for like over 24 hours makes absolutely no sense. Even the times in my history when I drank so much, I woke up the next morning. I woke up in 8 hours. I woke up in half a day. I've never been out that long, almost over. It was, I'm pretty sure it was over 20. It was either a whole day and some time, or it was close to 24 hours. And I have never been out that long after. So like I said, my guess is this group of people who are bisexuals and apparently rapists, they use some type of date rape drug, roofie, whatever. So where I left off on part 1 was I woke up, I felt violated, I felt like I had been sexually discharged, I felt discombobulated, I didn't feel like I was waking up off of a drink, I didn't feel like hungover or anything like that. And also, on top of that, like I said, things were rearranged in my room. I've never rearranged things. The most I've ever done drunk is cleaned or tried to build something or tried to finish a project, finish building a guitar or finish writing a song. I've never rearranged things, and there was like little subliminal messages left around my room that were kind of like showing me that someone had been in there. The hanging blankets and towels that I had put over my door to cover the air from my door, they were completely flipped and backwards, and the tape was ripped and put on differently. That is something I would never do when I'm drunk. I would not deconstruct something I made and rebuild it flipped. I would never do that. That was almost a slap to my face. It was almost mocking me, whoever did that. So like I said, I don't know how they got in my room. I don't know if they waited for me to be so drunk that I was incoherent, like drunk enough to not be combative, and then maybe they banged on the door and I let them in when I was blacked out or something. Or maybe I went to the restroom and they followed me into my room, or they held the door when I closed it. I don't know. But whatever the case, continuing from part 1, I woke up. I already explained what excuse me just a second. I already explained what had happened, and I already explained the sexual part of it, and the urination, the fact that I was covered in urine, and there was urine in my plants, there was urine in my food storage, and I, like I said in part 1, some people might say, "Oh, Matt, you're drunk. You imagine the whole thing." Well, that I've been drinking since I was 16 or 18 years old. Heavy drinking, and these are not. The only other times I woke up feeling like this was the times I had been robbed and violated, raped. And there was one time specifically when I woke up. I remember there was a girl, and I offered her a beer in complete non-sexual friendship. And at that point, I was drinking vodka, and I woke up out of a blackout during sex. And I remember my intentions. I had no intentions of having sex with this girl. And later on, that girl robbed me, and I woke up again, and all the stuff from my hotel room was gone, and that one I don't necessarily consider a rape, because I bet during the blackout it was one girl. She may have encouraged the sex and propositioned the sex and took advantage of the fact that I was drunk. But this, on the other hand, was a group of people who came in my bedroom and, apparently peed on me and sexually discharged me and peed on my food storage and peed on my plants and just... So anyways, I wake up and I go into a panic. I start cleaning all my linens, cleaning all my clothes, cleaning the room, freaking out, checking, make sure all my money's there, checking my phone is there, checking my wallet is there, checking nothing's stolen, because I've had identity theft happen to me before. I've had all kinds of unfortunately, just the life that I've had. I've had a lot of unfortunate and scary things happen to me. It's just the truth. And it's not because I think it's just the life that God has given me has had a lot of training to make me prepared and aware for the devil, for what Satan, and not even so much Satan, for what evil human beings will do, so I can be protected and prepared for the rest of my life. It's like street knowledge or something. So anyways, so I wake up, I start freaking out, and in the middle of the night, I'm talking like 1 a.m, a whole day or so after I had drinking a whopping less than half a bottle, or a little bit more, like 2/3, like it was not that much alcohol. So, and then it's like I know he's in his room, and I know, and it's almost like he's hiding. Like, he doesn't have anything that he usually, anytime I get up in the middle of the night and make some noise, he wants to get up and confront me and challenge me and tell me I need to quiet down, or he's going to call the police. Well, he's like bashful and ashamed in his room for like a good hour or two. And then eventually he out of nowhere, he gets up and he's like, "Hey man," and he's like putting on a front, right? He's like putting on, like, I think in a rapist's mind, he's like, "I'm gonna screw with the fact that he was completely unconscious and incoherent from this drug." But I really don't think it was only alcohol. I'm relatively sure it was date rape or roofie, something like that. And you got to remember too that this guy has toured the world with different musicians. He's a DJ, so they're hip to the different drugs and the different scenarios in all different countries where different drugs are legal. For all I know, he could have even brought some back from Europe or from wherever he was, of a drug that you can't even get in the United States. And so and at that point, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to say. I'm just like, dude, I need to do my laundry. I need to clean up my stuff. Leave me alone. And I tell him, I'm like, Will, leave me alone. I'm going to be leaving on the 1st. I'm using the laundry right now. Leave me alone. Just get away from me. Do not talk to me. Leave me alone. I'm not going to destroy your house. I'm not going to damage your property or bother you, but leave me alone. So he backs off, and a couple days go by, and I'm still like panicking, because I'm at this point now, I'm afraid to drink, because I don't know if he took my key and he went to a store, and I have no money at this point. I used all my money for rent and for weed and food and alcohol, and at this point, I I don't have the money to go buy another lock. I don't have the means to leave my room and leave it open to attack, and then and possibility or drink the rest of my bottle and the rest of my beer and enjoy myself, because if they have a key to my room now, they'll come in and do it again and maybe do stuff worse. So and for all I know, they peed in my alcohol. So I throw away all my alcohol. I throw away all my food. I have to take my food storage unit, this big old Tupperware box, and wash it with hydrogen peroxide and dish soap and bathroom cleaner. And I need this big Tupperware. So now I have to wash it and clean it and pray to God to let it leave my mind, that, and because it, like I said, before this situation, there was underhand sexual advances made at me by him. When I would walk by his bedroom with the door closed, his door closed, with no one else in the house, he would start talking to me through the walls. He would be like, "Hey, you want to come in here and see what's good? Hey, you want to come in here and show me?" Like, there was no one else in the house, and the only time he would say this stuff was when I was walking by his bedroom, when it was it was in the middle of the night or darkness, which is so offensive and sexual harassment. And not only that, there were these people multiple times. There was one time when he was leaving for a trip to Europe, and he was going to rent out his room to another person in Airbnb. Mind you, there is a private bathroom attached to his bedroom, in his bedroom, for a part of his Airbnb. He brings this person into the Airbnb. It's the first person's day, and he's about to leave for Europe, and he's showing them the Airbnb, and they have a private bathroom in their Airbnb, and he tells this person to go urinate in my private bathroom just to put this person's urine stains, or to irritate me, quote unquote, piss me off, in my private bathroom. Who does that? Why would you do that? Why would you lease out a room with a private bathroom and tell that person, "Oh, go use the private bathroom in my other person's room"? It's completely insane. Not only that, there was urine stains all over the wall, on the fan, on the ceiling, in the bathtub. I cleaned that bathroom so good. And before I got another lock for the bathroom door, found the keys and took the keys from a secret spot where it was up with this above the laundry room, and I found both the keys attached for the lock. So luckily the other key for the bathroom was not in his possession. And at that point, I had protected the bathroom. But this was after the fact. He made people pee in my bathroom. I heard people I heard people, as best as I know, go and pee in my bathroom, pee in my bathtub. It smelled like different witches do different stuff with their bodily fluids. I don't agree to any of it. I don't support any of it. I don't participate in any of it. If you either have been around voodoo, or if you're a member of witchcraft, whether you're Christian or not, you're aware of this, or you're an ex-witch, or you know about it. You know how voodoo works. It's pee and poop and spit and ejaculation and sweat and all that, and it's disgusting, and it's offensive. And the more you're aware of it, the more you know it exists in the world. So I finally get all of it cleaned up, and I get all of it taken care of. And what do you know? Along comes Will to bang on my door in the middle of the night. Hey, motherfucker, you gotta move out. You're a drunk. You're a stupid piece of shit. And he really started saying all this stuff to me. And I started cussing at him back, I'll admit. Now, looking back, as a Christian, it would have been wiser for me to not participate in the cuss words. It would have been wiser for me to tell the truth in clean, filtered English. It would have been wiser for me to be like, to use wise chosen words rather than participate in the bitch and fuck and screw you and all this, and you're a punk. Like, it would have been wiser for me to have been chosen with my words but no one's perfect, and that's the way it is. So he comes up to me, to my door, and at this point, I've had enough. I told him, I said, straight up, dude, you're a weirdo. You're a rapist as far as I know. You're a thief. You stole money from, you ripped me off with my discount. You stole food and drinks from me. And I have absolute, remember, I'm going, I don't have the money to just leave this place. My rent is paid for that month, and that's what I plan on staying for until I get out of there. I know I need a place to live, and I've been to prison, I've been to jail, so I'm taking my time that I paid for, and I made it perfectly clear to him. My rent's paid, my rights are in this room until the 1st. Leave me alone. You have no reason to be coming in my room. You have no reason to be harassing me, or my music and my noises are not loud enough to be considered for a noise complaint. So please, I told him, leave me alone. And then I finally told him, and as far as I know, you're a rapist. And he looks at me and he gets this dirty smirk on his face and he goes, well, that's not for you to decide. So if there's anyone out there who has doubts about this person, just remember this. When I was younger and I partied, there was times where I got drunk and I got stolen from and I got sexually violated to the best of my knowledge and the best of my bodily feeling and the best of me waking up from blackout drunks in the middle of sex that I didn't intend on having or want to have. And there was a woman who lived in the room before me who ended up getting a month and a half rent free, and she bounced on him after running up his bills, and he wasn't even mad. If anything, he acted guilty about it. Like, he acted like he understood why she did it, and she was so weird. She acted so weird there. She was all skittish and weird and bounced around and didn't know what to, so that, on top of the fact, with my past experiences and the feelings I had when I woke up after being unconscious for over a whole day and not even drinking that much. And then when I confronted him about it, he got this dirty smirk on his face, and he had made weird sexual advances in the middle of the night, verbally, through the walls, through the doors, saying things out loud when no one else is in the house but me and him. And then when I confronted him, he makes the remark, well, that's not for you to decide. And then after it happened, and mind you, he's a worry witch. So he uses worry spirits to try to listen in on my thoughts and listen in on my worries and listen in on my plans. That's how worry witches work. They put demons of worry on you. And then when you worry about other people finding out, the demons listen and the demons communicate to their possessors. And I started thinking, dude, I got to expose this guy. Not for myself, not for revenge. Like, I'm not going to go file a police report and get DNA testing and so on and so forth. But I don't want him to have more victims. I don't want to walk away from the situation and leave him in power to attack another woman or another man. I don't. I'm not going to leave it unspoken. So he has created this Google place on Google Maps that says, oh, KnowelDJ, this is the living space of KnowelDJ. Leave a review. I'm a DJ who tours the world. So he went on Google Maps. He created a place on Google Maps for his DJing company. And in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to write on there, beware, this guy rents out an Airbnb, he rents out an extra room in his apartment, and I'm pretty sure he's a rapist. Not only that, after it happened, like the sexual advances, the fact, after it happened, every time, and like I said, remember, he's a worry witch, and I was extremely worried about drinking about it happening again. Every time, thank you, Jesus, every time I considered having a drink and afraid to drink after this event, this day-long blackout from a very small amount of alcohol, which makes absolutely no sense, his girlfriend, who is also this part of this bisexual, part 3 coming soon.